Good afternoon. This is Terrell again. We are looking at new parts here. I just got the crankshaft back from the machine shop. This is for the, I believe it's an 04 Wrx. And gonna go ahead and inspect it and then start putting this together. We got the bearings in. The rods obviously are still here. The crank mic'd out. Everything was perfect. So we just need to start rebuilding this motor. This is the crank set on the table. When I got it, it does have a bit of dirt, like it fell into something, but I'm just gonna clean it off. Everything else looks good. They said it's standard, so no need to cut anything. Just nice and shiny and good to go. I'll go ahead and put new bearings on these rods, some assembly lube, and then I'm gonna install the rods on the crank. Probably just gonna time lapse this entire thing, torquing them down to spec on these. Have to look it up in a moment. I'll get all this torqued down and make sure all the clearances feel good and look good, and make sure this bottom end is built correctly. And then the next step will be cleaning the block halves and getting the main bearings in, and then installing the crank, all the O-rings, and then the silicone so that the block doesn't leak. All right, torquing these things to spec according to Manly. Go nice and even with them. Okay. All right. And this one. You just saw me torque all the rods on the crank. Everything feels good. We're good to go there. Need to get the crank main bearings. I don't know if we ordered them or not, so we need to get those obviously, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean the block. I'm gonna time lapse this. If it looks good, I'm gonna post this in this video. If not, I guess ignore this part. I just realized the nicest thing about him not putting silicone on the oil pump. I don't have to clean anything off the block. Saves me a little bit of time, I guess. Here I'll get done the other side, and I'm gonna time lapse this as well. Try to do all three, the middle, the bottom, and then the top, I guess, of the cylinder walls, all in the same video. And look what just showed up for this Wrx motor. These are the main bearings. I'm gonna go ahead and install them. I just cleaned both block halves. So I'm gonna stick these on, some assembly lube, and then seal the cases, put the O-rings there, and right there. And then put this all together. All right, all the bearings are installed. Now time to lube them up, and then put the crank in and sealant and the O-rings. All right, just silicone the edges, put the O-rings on, and all the lubes on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the crank in, and then drop this half on top of this one. I always check once I got her together, make sure she can spin freely, and beautiful, look at that. By hand. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the piston rings on the pistons after I get this block all torqued down. It's a short block at least though. Now I just gotta torque them all down. All right, short block is built. Time to start putting these piston rings in and make this closed off. Looking good though, nice squish, everything torqued properly. All right, got the wrist pin end clip in. You can see it nice and set down. We'll go ahead and install this one next, right there. And just like that, I got that one in real quick. Got the wrist pin end clip in. Now, to do this side, this one here is difficult, and this one's the hardest typically. Cylinder 1. And number 1 went in actually very smoothly. We got one left, this one, and then I can put all the plugs on and probably put this in the engine stand soon. And look at that, cylinder number 2, wrist pin and in clip are in. All right, I can start putting the plugs on the front and the back, torque them down, put the back plates on, rear main seal, oil pump, and get this short block ready to put the heads on. Alrighty, this morning I got the this 2.5 liter engine back on the stand. I got all the piston, pinhole, the bolts, I guess, whatever, the plugs, all torqued down. So next I'm probably gonna put the heads on, torque them down, and then start building this motor. Gotta put the oil pan, oil pickup, oil baffle on, and then just kind of build it and get this thing going. Maybe get this thing done today if I'm lucky. There she is in all her glory. Slowly but surely get this thing put together. I'm gonna start off with the driver's side head, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off the rest of the way, and then put the head gasket on, and then put the head on, and then torque the head studs down, get this all sealed up, and then go to the passenger side. All right, head gasket's on, about to drop the head on. Okay, I got the head on, I got all the washers on, got them nice and cleaned off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just apply the assembly lube. This good old stuff to each one of these threads, and then install the nuts that are right there, and then torque them down 30, 60, 90, and then this head will be done. All right, here's the last of the 30s. Okay. So, well, I can do this on camera. There's 60. I couldn't get the 90 on camera. Maybe the engine angle is just bad, but anyhow. 90 on this side, all done. I'll go ahead and put the cams on and the cam holders for now. And then flip the engine to the other side and then put the other head on. All right, just flip it over, got this all cleaned. That side's cleaned. I just gotta put the head gasket on, drop this head on, and start putting everything together. Head gasket numero dos on. All right, head is on, all the washers are on. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the lube again and then clean the nuts off and bolt them down and then torque those down. And again, last one for 30. There we go. And this last one, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this at all, but it does say 90 right there. See if I can do this on camera or not. There we go. Both sides are torqued down. Gotta put the cams back on, put all the cam holders back on, and then I'll probably work on doing the oil pan and the oil pump and stuff like that next. This engine, when I tore it down, had an oil pump issue. The issue was that it didn't have an O-ring or any silicone. So I'm gonna show you how to properly install an oil pump on an EJ engine. This is pretty much any EJ engine that exists. You're gonna start by putting your oil pump on something dry, installing your oil pump front seal. You can do this on the car or on the ground. Then you're gonna flip it over, and you're gonna put silicone around like this. Go around here. I typically go around both, but you actually just go around here, here, and then up like that. I'll show you how it looks in a minute. And then you put an oil pump seal right here, and then you stick it on and tighten the bolts down and torque them down to spec. This is what an oil pump seal looks like a double grooved thing. You just kind of stick it right in there. Sorry, bad camera right there. Anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and silicone the oil pump and then install it. Alrighty, look at that. That's how you silicone oil pump. I'm gonna go ahead and install it, and it'll have a nice small squish. It isn't super thick or thin in any areas. It's pretty much level the entire way around. When you install it, on the back, it has a little piece that sits on the crank. You need to make sure it lines up so it slides on well. You have to verify that the oil pump seal didn't flip over itself, and we're looking good here. And now she's on. Got a nice little squish coming around the sides, but nothing major. Getting some progress going. I got new coolant crossover pipe O-rings in. I got the coolant crossover pipe down and tight. Gotta get this bolt in and this bolt in a minute, but I'm getting the water pump tight. Got the gasket in there. Got the crankshaft sensor on, and then the crank gear on. And then once. All right, next step is installing this Killer Bee oil baffle and pickup. This has the extension for the bigger oil pan. So you need to put the extension down here. It needs to be an O-ring down on the bottom and an O-ring in here. And then this guy here needs to face up like that, so that both of those ledges, one's on the bottom, one's on top, and then tighten all these down. All right, now I have the oil pickup and oil baffle all nice and tight, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil pan on next. Getting the silicone on the oil pan, about to stick it on. I like to go a little heavy on these ones just to make sure that it doesn't leak, but she's all clean. I'm just gonna get this little blip gone and then ready to install. Alrighty, all of them went down nice and tightly. No cross-threading, no issues here. Nice squish across the bottom and the sides. Alrighty, just about to finish the bottom. Just gonna put the exhaust gaskets on, get the exhaust on, and then put the oil dipstick in. And the bottom's pretty much completely done. Alrighty, the headers are on and tight. Got gaskets on there. Bottom is just about done. You just need to install the dipstick. Alright, decided to install the valve covers next, so I'll show you that. This is the driver's side. I just removed all the silicone across the bottom and on the sides here. And I just removed the half moon seals and I'm re-siliconing them. That's already been re-siliconed. You can see the squish coming up the sides. And when I install this valve cover, I'll put silicone across here, across this half moon seal after it's already in, and then I usually do a small bead along here just for safety, and then I will clean both of these off. These are the front cam carrier or cam caps, and then I'll silicone over that one and over that one like that, and make sure in the corners they have a good silicone so they don't leak out on those small corners. Okay, this side is ready for me to silicone. I'm gonna go ahead and put some silicone on it, and then the valve cover is right there. I'll go ahead and install that. Valve cover number 1 is on and tight. Now I gotta clean this side off and then install that valve cover, and then I'll probably end up timing this and stopping the video after that, and it'll just be intake and dropping in the engine next after that. All right, I just resealed the half moon seals. There's one and there's the other. Just cleaned off both these mating surfaces, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put the silicone across here on the bottom, and then a little bit there and a little bit there, and then put the valve cover back on. All right, second valve cover is tight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and install the cam seals and then the cam covers on the inside, and then we'll install the timing belt tensioner bracket right there, and then you'll see as I keep going along, and we'll get this all nice and timed up, and I think I'm gonna call it a day after she's timed and I get some good pictures. All right, both those cam seals are in, time to install the timing covers. All right, that timing cover is on and tight, and then I got the timing belt tensioner bracket on. Next, gonna put the pulley on here, and here. Get those torqued down, and then put the pulley on here, and there, and then re-tension the timing belt tensioner with a little grenade pin, and then time everything. All right, engine is timed now. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Next, I'll put the covers on and then the intake manifold. Thank you for watching. Next video, like I said, timing covers on, intake manifold, and hopefully get this in the car and get it started for the first time with actual oil pressure. Thank you for watching.